What if I told you? Your cucumber plants might secretly hate their neighbors. Yeah, not dislike, hate. You've been planting your cucumbers all season, watering them, feeding them. But there's something invisible happening right under your nose and beneath the soil that could be sabotaging them without you realizing it. Here's the real kicker. Cucumbers aren't just picky. They have preferences based on complex chemical signals, natural pest traps, even pollination alliances. And if you get their neighbors wrong, you could end up with stunted vines, fewer fruits, or worse, inviting pests to dinner. So, what's the science behind these secret plant friendships and feuds? And which plants actually unlock your cucumber's full potential? Keep watching, because once you see how it all works, you'll never plant cucumbers the same way again. Let's start underground. Every plant has roots, right? But those roots aren't just drinking water and absorbing nutrients, they're busy releasing special compounds into the soil, almost like leaving little chemical notes for nearby plants. This process is called allelopathy. Think of it this way. Some plants are like good neighbors. They help each other out, maybe even share resources. Other plants, total bad roommates. They hog all the food, leave messes, and give off toxic vibes that make everyone else wilt. Cucumbers, believe it or not, are super sensitive to these chemical notes. Some plants release compounds that boost cucumber growth, while others leave messages that slow them down, steal nutrients, or even attract pests. Crazy, right? But let's break it down even more. So how does allelopathy actually affect cucumbers? Let's look at an example you definitely need to know: potatoes. Potatoes and cucumbers are like two heavyweight champs battling it out underground. Both need lots of nutrients, especially nitrogen, and both spread wide root systems. But potatoes go one step further. They release allelopathic chemicals into the soil that can mess with cucumber growth. It's their way of elbowing out the competition. End result? Stunted cucumber vines, yellow leaves, fewer fruits. Now here's where it gets fun. Not all plants are bullies, some are downright generous. Beans and peas are cucumbers' best buds. Why? They're part of the legume family, and legumes have this incredible ability to fix nitrogen from the air into the soil. Basically, they grab nitrogen molecules floating around and lock them into a form plants can actually use. So while potatoes hoard nutrients, beans literally share the wealth. Cucumbers get to soak up that extra nitrogen, which powers leafy growth and strong vines. One plant's chemistry can harm, while another's chemistry can heal. That's allelopathy in action. But wait, allelopathy isn't just about chemicals, it's also about competition. Imagine you're at an all-you-can-eat buffet, but there's one person stacking their plate sky high, taking more than their share. Eventually there's nothing left for you. That's exactly what happens when cucumbers are planted next to melons, squash, or pumpkins. They all belong to the same family, Cucurbitaceae, and they want the same food: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and water. Plus, they grow sprawling vines that compete for space, sunlight, and soil nutrients. So instead of helping each other, they exhaust the soil and stress each other out. The result? Weak plants, low yields, and pest problems. But what if there's a way to stop that from happening? Now let's shift gears and talk about pests. Because pests don't just show up randomly, they follow scents, colors, and environmental cues. What if you could plant something near your cucumbers that confuses pests or drives them away? Enter companion pest control. Take marigolds. These bright flowers don't just look pretty, they release a special chemical through their roots called alpha-terphenol. This compound targets nematodes, tiny destructive worms that munch on cucumber roots. Think of marigolds like a natural pest repellent, forming an invisible barrier underground. Above ground, the story gets even better. Ever notice how nasturtiums attract aphids like magnets? That's not bad, it's brilliant. Nasturtiums act as a trap crop. Aphids swarm to them instead of your cucumbers, sparing your vines. And let's not forget the herbs. Dill, basil, oregano, thyme, they're not just for seasoning your pasta. Their strong aromatic oils confuse pests like cucumber beetles and whiteflies. The smell overpowers pests' ability to sniff out cucumber leaves, so by planting a few herbs nearby you're making it much harder for bugs to find their way. Fun fact, studies show that the more biodiversity in your garden, meaning different types of plants mixed together, the fewer pest outbreaks you'll have. Nature likes variety, so planting a diverse range of cucumber-friendly companions keeps pest populations under control without chemicals. Now, on to something people often overlook: pollination. Cucumbers produce both male and female flowers. For cucumbers to form properly, pollen has to move from the male flower to the female flower. And who does that job? Bees, butterflies, and other pollinators. But here's the catch: if there aren't enough pollinators around, cucumbers may grow small, misshapen, or not grow at all. So how do you attract more pollinators? Flowers. Lots of them. Planting borage, calendula, sunflowers, or zinnias near cucumbers creates a buffet of nectar and pollen for bees. Borage, in particular, is a pollinator magnet. It has bright blue flowers that bees can't resist, and fun fact, it also improves cucumber flavor. Sunflowers? They act like giant lighthouses, visible from far away, signaling pollinators to stop by. The result? More buzzing bees, better pollination, and bigger cucumber yields. And here's the cherry on top. When cucumbers and pollinator-friendly flowers grow together, it creates a feedback loop. More flowers attract more bees, which help cucumbers, which produce more flowers, and so on. Let's pull it all together and start with Cucumber Companion Dream Team. Beans and peas, nitrogen fixers, nutrient boosters. Marigolds act as a natural nematode repellent. Nasturtiums serve as a trap crop for aphids. Dill, oregano, basil, and thyme provide aroma confusion and deter pests. Sunflowers, borage, calendula, and zinnias are pollinator magnets, increasing fruit set. Corn provides shade and structure, while cucumbers act as natural ground cover. Now let's talk about the plants to avoid near cucumbers. Potatoes. Allelopathic compounds, heavy feeders. Sage, rosemary, prefer dry soil, clash with cucumbers' water needs. Melons, squash, pumpkins, compete for space, nutrients, attract same pests. Fennel, releases growth-inhibiting compounds harmful to cucumbers. So, what's the big takeaway here? Companion planting isn't random. It's rooted in solid science, biology, chemistry, and ecology, all working together to create harmony, or chaos, in your garden. Allelopathy shows us how plants send chemical signals, either helping cucumbers thrive or holding them back. Pest control demonstrates how certain herbs and flowers act like natural defenders, confusing and repelling pests before they strike. And pollination proves how surrounding cucumbers with the right blooms leads to better fruit, more harvests, and a healthier ecosystem. When you understand these relationships, you stop planting by guesswork and start planting strategically. Suddenly, every seed has a purpose. Every flower, every herb, every companion becomes part of a bigger, balanced system where your cucumbers can finally reach their full potential. So now you know the secret science behind why cucumbers love certain neighbors and why others just don't make the cut. Pretty wild how much is happening right under our feet and over our heads, right? But here's the thing. Companion planting is just the beginning. There are so many more ways you can boost your garden naturally, protect your plants, and get bigger, healthier harvests without relying on chemicals. If you want to dive deeper into all this, I've got more videos lined up for you. Check out the ones linked right here on screen, and don't forget to scroll down to the description. I've dropped even more juicy tips down there. And hey, if this helped you out, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow plant lovers, and of course, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.